Sasha.
It's a historic day here at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, as we welcome you to the premiere of Major League Table Tennis. The first ever showdown features the Chicago Wind taking on the Carolina Goldrush. Later tonight, we'll see the Princeton Revolution and the hometown Florida Crocs, but it's the Goldrush and the Wind as we begin this new MLTT adventure here from the Ocean Center in the Sunshine State. Good evening, everybody. I'm Evan Lepler alongside the former five-time U.S. singles champion, two-time Olympian. It's great to be alongside Sean O'Neill. And Sean, it feels like we're witnessing history today. What are your thoughts as we embark on this new adventure?
This is so groundbreaking to have the first professional major league in table tennis. It's something I wish I had when I was a player, but it's going to give such an opportunity for the young stars to really make professional careers.
And as we look at the team format, it's a different dynamic because you have great players all across the rosters, but coaches have to formulate the matchups, and it's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out.
Well, the new format, especially that 3 games are played. So when in the past you could have a 2-0 victory, now you're playing that third game to keep your team in the contention for the match.
Let's talk about the match format because it's basically 4 singles matches and 1 doubles match, all culminating with a golden game. And the golden game is something that we've never seen in Major League Table Tennis or any table tennis before.
It's a new concept. It really brings the team members together for a short version, almost like a sudden death where every point counts to give your team a chance to take it on.
You're seeing the first couple singles players. Here's a look at the competition format. All games to 11 until we get to the golden game, which is the single game to 21. And as we work our way to the golden game, there are 15 points available up until the golden game. And you're working to earn an advantage in the golden game, which is a huge factor because that could ultimately decide who wins the whole thing.
Yeah, if you go into that golden game with a lead, you can actually get a little bit of a stagger and move yourself forward, but I'm really interested in these 10-10 games because it's a sudden death, 1 point, no more deuce games, 1 point to take that full important single point.
All right, we begin with Alexander Hanin serving against Roman Lorenz. Welcome to Major League Table Tennis. And the first point goes to Roman Lorenz, who's a familiar name for MLTT folks who watched the Ocho Day back in August.
Net serve.
Net.
Lorenz from France. Hanin from Belarus.
Net.
Oh, great play down the line.
1-1.
Hanin saw his opponent begin to step around. See Lorenz start to turn the corner, took it right down the line for the winner.
So we split the first 2 points. Now
Let.
Lorenz to serve.
Open path. 1-1.
What have you noticed about the two styles of these two players in the opening few points?
Both these players are very offensive. They're going to look to get their first opening loops, that first forehand topspin in, and really work from the backhand corner. Now that's a beautiful backhand there by Hanin. Just jumped right on top of that ball. Got to keep that serve return low, otherwise the opponent will just go right for the kill.
Let. 3-2. Net.
Excellent play by Hanin. Once again, a lot of short drop shots, setting up that first forehand topspin.
He scored scored the last 5 points after dropping the first one. What do you think is going through the minds of these guys? The first ever game or the first ever match of MLTT.
Well, first and foremost, they want to get a point for their team in this game. Every game is absolutely critical, not just to win this match head-to-head, but for the entire season. Every point you get puts you further and further into the playoffs, and everyone's fighting for that Final Four.
Beautiful placement.
His backhand's been on fire so far in this match. Nice forehand flip there. Again, Lorenz trying to step around the backhand. Canine seeing that. You can see the look on Lorenz's face. It's like, whoa, how am I going to get that one back?
Lorenz did leave that part of the table wide open to be attacked.
Yeah, he really wants to turn the corner, get his forehand into play. Canine's shown that his ball placement is very strong. A little bit of a lucky ball there. It clipped the top of the net and bounced high. And Canine extremely fast with his forehand step round attack from the backhand corner. Excellent ball placement by Canine, just really moving it around. Never being comfortable putting it to one spot, but keeping Lorenz guessing.
Lorenz will try to use that, gain a little momentum here. It feels like Hanine has been kind of dictating the tempo.
He really has it. It's for Lorenz, he's playing a little bit more wait and see. But Canine has really placed the ball well, especially off the backhand side.
Sasha Canine to serve up 7-5.
They're a very
7-6.
unusual miss on the serve, trying to keep it really short. That's a free point that Lorenz is going to greatly appreciate as we get near the end of this first game.
The nerves are real. And we're tied at 7.
Lorenz did a great job of being able to stay with that attack. Nice forehand reloop. Keeps the pressure on.
So from 7-4, it's now 7-all in this inaugural event here in Florida. Every single game matters over the course of the
7-7.
entire season, starting now. Just missed the table, clipping off the net. Point to Hanine, who leads 8-7.
And a very smart move there. Just getting the first top spin in. That ball dips right after it goes over the net. Not so easy to counterattack.
Got ourselves a pretty good game to start this event, don't we?
Both teams wanting to get this initial edge. Lorenz being very patient, taking his time, making one nice defensive block and then turning the offense on.
8-8. Big hitting from both players. I mean, apologizing, but he'll be delighted to be up 1. One more serve here at 9-8.
Just remember, it's a sudden death if it goes to 10-10. There's no deuce games in Major League Table Tennis.
Nine all.
Super intense here. Lorenz able to turn the corner out of that backhand, playing the ball out to the forehand side. Well done.
Two players trying to set the tone for their teams, for their individual seasons, for the entire league, riding on their shoulders of these next 2 or 3 points. Lorenz to serve for the Goldrush. He dipped his his paddle underneath the table to hit that forehand.
Lorenz took the risk. He stepped around the backhand to really loop it up with the forehand, leaving the whole table open, but just too much topspin for Kanin to bring down, and he is rewarded with the first game point.
On his serve, Roman Lorenz, game point. And the first point in the history of Major League Table Tennis goes to the Carolina Goldrush. Roman Lorenz coming from behind to defeat Alexander Sasha-Hanin.
Lorenz, extremely smart, fought for the initiative, kept the forehand attack going, and gets the first point for his home team, and is looking good for the Goldrush.
So another one of the dynamics of Major League Table Tennis is the coaching that will go on in between games, during games. Eric Owens, USA Table Tennis Hall of Famer, leading the Chicago Wind, and Alex Yang, who's had an incredible career as a player and a coach himself, leading the Carolina Goldrush. What are these moments going to be like?
Well, right now you can see the Wind here with Owens and Damian Provost as a team giving advice. Definitely making sure that their guy goes out pumped, ready to go. Lorenz on the other side is looking ready for action himself.
Time. Goldrush.
Very hot, humid day here in Florida. Inside the Ocean Center, it is air conditioned, so it is much more comfortable. But the nerves and emotions and intensity is running hot. Lorenz to serve to begin game 2.
A very nice serve there. Lorenz had been serving short most of this match so far. That was a quick, deep serve. Jump out quickly.
And the forehand sails wide.
Lorenz on defense, but not giving an inch, even though he's back off the table, just fighting to keep one more ball on the table.
First point this game for Hanin. Sean, you said to me the other day that players from different countries have such different styles. If you take a player from France and a player from Belarus, maybe after this point, talk about the styles of these two different countries.
Well, the French players tend to play very good up at the table, fast tempo. Belarus, known for their great Vladimir Samsonov player, many years, play a little bit off the table, more backhand play. But both these guys are really taking it to the other side of the net, trying to get those attacks going as fast as possible. Those are some nice backhand loops there by Kanin. Very strong. Lorenz looking for the forehand whenever he can turn that backhand corner.
Lorenz still leading by 1 with one more serve. He won game 1, 11-9.
Look at that powerful forehand by Lorenz. Just very patient off the serve, letting that ball come out before he delivers that forehand blow. Both these players taking a lot of time between points, not wanting to rush.
Nice job by Lorenz handling the net disruption there.
Very difficult. That ball changes so much spin when it hits the top of the net. Again, Lorenz is just really patient out there, working the table, expecting the ball to come back. Oh, there's the power of Kanin, just looping so strong from the forehand side.
Before that point, though, Lorenz had won 12 of the previous 16 points dating back to the last game.
Yeah, he's just in the second half of this first game and now into game 2, just really found his rhythm, moving the ball around and getting that forehand in. then an aggressive deep serve there by Lorenz, putting a lot of pressure on Canine. Great time to do that is when you're leading by 2 or 3 points to try to break the game open a little bit more.
30-year-old Lorenz serving up by 3. Not fooled his opponent.
He's been serving a lot cross court. That time he took the serve down the line. It's really been his defense and keeping offense there that has put a lot of pressure on the Belarusian.
After a phenomenal start, Canine has looked a little off kilter, and Lorenz has capitalized. He's now 3 points away from seizing the first 2 points of this opening singles competition.
And that's what Canine wanted to do all match long, is get that first backhand attack in, which really kind of handcuffs Lorenz from stepping around and getting his forehand in. Both players, very unique styles.
Going to be one of the fascinating things about this whole league and this weekend that we've got here in Florida. All the different styles, the multicultural dynamic to this sport. And Lorenz wins the brutal battle of forehands again.
Again, Lorenz is off the table, just keeping it on. Canine doing a little bit more pressure, a little bit more power, and overplays that last ball. And you can see his frustration trying to get back into this match to possibly equal out these 3-game matches.
Six-game points for Romain Lorenz of the Carolina Goldrush.
The fact that they'll play all 3 games means that the Goldrush will at least have a 1-point lead. He's going to hope for 3 if possible.
Canine fights one off.
Lorenz had to change hands, hoping to possibly catch it with the left hand, but no ability to run that ball down.
Net. 5-10.
Another game point. And that'll do it. For game number 2, Romain Lorenz has taken the first 2 games of this opening singles match for the Carolina Goldrush.
Lorenz has to feel so good right now by being up 2-0. We're in a situation right now we've never seen in table tennis where now you're playing one more game when the 2 points lead is already there. So it's going to be interesting to see what type of mental ability that Canine has to get back in, or possibly for Lorenz to get a 3-point lead for his team.
What is this dynamic like mentally? You know, he's up 2-0, but the job is not yet done.
We've never had it in table tennis. This is one of the cool things with Major League Table Tennis here in the United States is they've made rule adjustments. So now this forces you to play the whole way through. In other racket sports like tennis or Davis Cup, where it might be a foregone conclusion, players don't really care that much.
This
but
is
now,
not a dead rubber.
Oh, this is huge. This means so much because you can either be down 3-0 or 2-1 and stop the bleeding. So
2-point swing.
Time.
Huge game. First 2 or 3 points of this game are going to be very interesting to see if Canine can right that ship.
Game 3.
Sasha Canine
Win to serve. 0.
didn't know much about Chicago when he was drafted by the Chicago Wind, but he says now it's like a second home.
With Coach Eric Owens, he's done a lot of research, really made sure he picked players that could battle back.
Game 3.
You can see, look at Canine's body language. He doesn't look like he's down 2-0. He's taking these 1 point at a time, which is exactly what you want to do. Stay up to the table, put pressure on the opponent.
Strong start for the Chicago Wind in game 3 as they look to get on the board.
Lorenz was a little slow in game 1. See if he's able to turn and stop that momentum from the Chicago Wind.
Zero,
3-0 for Hanin.
Again, excellent play, staying close to the table, forcing Lorenz 8 to 10 feet back.
Pretty good defense for a couple of shots there from Hanin, but just too much power. And that was a huge point for Roman Lorenz. If he lost it, he would have been down 4-0 going back to the Belarusian serve.
Yeah, definitely Lorenz needed to get on the board, and again, I'm very impressed with his patience when he's attacking. He's not overplaying the ball. He's keeping it nice and low, moving it around. Net ball a little lucky there,
3-2.
but Lorenz will take it. The pressure right now, even though Lorenz is up 2-0, he does not want to leave this match with only a 1-point advantage. He wants to figure out a way of getting back into this and send his team into match 2 with a 3-point lead.
It's interesting, and you're probably right. In my novice mind, I was thinking that Hanin really wanted to avoid going 0-3 and that the pressure was on him.
I mean, it's such a new format. I just love the idea that every game counts. The mentally strong will do well in this format. A nice loop opening. Lorenz really working hard to get his forehand into play.
We will see Sasha Hanin playing doubles a little bit later. If Lorenz doesn't come back and win this here, he'll have to sit on a loss all the way till tomorrow.
Looks like Lorenz is beginning his kick to get back into this game.
Pummeling Lorenz with that powerful forehand. Hanin now leads 7-3.
If Hanin can win this game, he'll leave this match feeling good after a slow start in games 1 and 2.
Hanin 3 points away from getting the wind on the board. And that stretches the lead out to 5 for Sasha. Haven't seen too many of those points that begin with a short drop shots.
Yeah, generally the players will drop the serve if it doesn't come off the end where they can make a good forehand or backhand topspin just to eliminate the service advantage.
5 game points for Sasha Hanin. Make this opening singles match just a 1-point difference at 2-1.
10-6.
Lawrence fights off 1. Hanin serves at 10-6. And that will do it. Chicago gets its first point here in Major League Table Tennis, but Roman Lawrence, with victories in the first 2 games, gets the Goldrush an early 1-point lead. MLTT is underway, Sean O'Neill, and I gotta say, it's been a pretty riveting start.
Well, with this different format where game 3 is played whether an opponent is 1-1 or 2-0, it really changes things up quite a bit.
Roman, congratulations on taking 2 out of the 3 points. What did it feel like to play the first ever singles match in MLTT history?
It's great, definitely. It was a very good experience for me. Of course, taking 2 points for my team is a very good performance. I think the first game was really important, and yeah, I gave my best. That was a good fight.
Roman, what were you thinking going into game 3 with the 2-point lead? Were you thinking that you had to win it? Were you still kind of just fighting for every point possible?
Yeah, I tried to fight for winning the third point for my team. Unfortunately, it was not possible. Sasha played a little bit better at the beginning, so I start like 0-3, and then it was difficult to control the third game, but overall I'm happy to win 2-1.
Roman, going back to the first game, you were down I think 7-4. What changed the tide and enabled you to go on the big run and take that game and get off to a great start in game 2?
I think
Practice for 2 minutes.
at the beginning I didn't find my rhythm in the service and receive, and then step by step during the first game, in the second part of the first game, I found a very good reverse service. Half long to his forehand, then he started to get trouble, and that was the key point, I think.
Roman, congratulations on making history, the first ever points in MLTT history. They will forever be yours. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Roman Lawrence, the 30-year-old who's been playing table tennis for well over 2 decades. Started playing with pros at age 16. He's been ranked in the top 100 in the world, Sean, and he gets the Carolina Goldrush off to the 2-1 lead. And now in the second singles match, we see this youngster Kai Zhang, go against Daniele Pinto. Zhang for the Goldrush, Pinto for the win. And what should fans know as we get set for this second singles match?
This is going to be pure fireworks. Both players, Pinto and Zhang, big forehands. They just want to put power behind the ball. They're not going to be playing safe. They're going to be going for winners. And look for Kai, very fast with his feet. Excellent footwork. Former U.S. World Team member, extremely strong.
Kai Zhang, a fascinating story. Grew up in China, started playing table tennis at a very young age. Came to the United States at age 15. Barely spoke a single word of English. But he has transformed into one of the top young players in the United States. And then Daniele Pinto from Terni, Italy. Also a great young player, won a gold medal at the European Junior Championships team event.
3 games to play. Game 1. Goldrush to serve.
That's the 24-year-old Pinto, the 25-year-old Zhang. And here we go. Zhang to serve.
Look at the power right there, right out of the blocks. Look for Kai to get his forehand into play. Anything that comes off the end, he's going to go for a winner.
Need a radar to measure that one. Attacking aggressively again. It's a 2-0 lead for Carolina. Pinto gets his first point, trying to battle back here on his serve.
Pinto has a lot more control with his offense. Kai tends to finish the point as quickly as possible.
Zhang Zhang playing a little bit more defense there, and Pinto wins it.
If Pinto can get his first attack in, especially to the backhand side, he'll stay away from Kai's very strong forehand attack.
Serve Zhang. Three straight for Daniele Pinto to take his first lead.
Pinto playing very aggressive, especially as a lefty. And he can play a ball wide out to Kai's forehand. It'll really open up the court for him to play attacks then to the backhand side, which will be a much weaker ball than Kai.
3-3.
Even 3-3. Feels like these two players' individual styles kind of bring the best out of each other.
Absolutely. Both these guys like to bring the heat. They like to go for the big shot. Pinto a little bit stronger in the placement. Kai with the power there. And that time, look at Kai able to play a forehand down the line. Both players want to step around their backhand corner to get their forehand in when they can.
That's the changeup for Kai, but well placed.
Let. Serving above the table.
So umpire reminding the players they must toss the ball straight up 6 inches. Hit it on the descent. Perfectly legal serve on that last one.
Pinto leaving no doubt by tossing it a little bit higher that time.
Sometimes that can mess with your timing.
I bet.
Nice forehand out on the forehand side. And Kai's playing his back, playing his best. He's really attacking hard on the forehand.
5-4.
What do you notice about Kai's serve?
He generally just gets it into play and keeps it short. He doesn't have a lot of variation, but it's his forehand, that next one that comes up just like that ball. A lot of power. He can go in both directions, either to that wide backhand or out to the forehand side. Very strong by Pinto, just very methodical. Nice short serve, easy return, and then jumps on top of that ball.
We're tied 6-6, going back and forth here in this first game of this second singles match.
Pinto with a very aggressive deep serve on the last point. Caught Kai a little flat-footed, willing to take some risk. Players can receive coaching during the match in between points. There's Chicago coach Eric Owens.
Pinto wanted that one back.
Yeah, he's trying to spin up a ball that just comes off the edge of the table. Not much room to deal with from the diagonal. That time he made it work.
7-7.
Standard table tennis dimensions, 5 feet wide table, 9 feet long, 2.5 feet tall.
Well, it was a pop-up, but it was so short that when Pinto went in, it didn't come out. You see him shadow stroking afterwards. Kind of just half hit it. Thought it was going to go a little bit deeper. Oh, Kai Jung with a wonderful backhand cross court for the winner.
A reminder that he has that shot too.
And lefties generally are weaker wide out to the forehand. Kai, just look at that. Pinpoint accuracy down out to the forehand side.
And an answer from Pinto. Going right down the line with that lefty forehand to get within one.
Pinto says, if you can do it, I can do you one better. And again, lefties are weak wide to the forehand. So are righties when they're playing against lefties. That open angle is always there. See Pinto moving over to return the serve.
9-all. This game, in just these 18 points, has had so many fascinating twists and turns. And both of these players trying to begin their MLTT careers with a win. It's down to these next 2 or 3 points. No win by 2, it's game to 11. And another ferocious backhand finish.
This is not Kai's strongest side, but he's landing that backhand cross court like he's been doing it all day. Just right off the bounce, very powerful.
And we've got universe point, 10-10. Game to 11.
It's a very slight advantage with Kai with the serve.
Golden
Can
point.
start the point how he likes to, but
10-10.
the way Pinto's playing right now, anything could happen.
And it's Zhang who takes game one,
Goldrush.
11-10. What a showcase for this sport here in Florida.
Kai, an excellent job of getting his strength, his forehand into play off the serve. 1 point sudden death to get game one. Nice tight serve. Pinto with a spin up, but Kai with a great loop step around. Here's some replays from earlier in the game. And these backhands that Kai has been able to land, just amazing.
Did he surprise you with that backhand this game?
Yeah, because Kai is a forehand-oriented player. He lives and dies by his forehand, but this time, and it's true, when you're playing a left-handed player, you see that open court, cross court, and Kai really did an excellent job, and there's Coach Yang reminding him that that angle exists.
Kai Zhang represented the University of Southern California at the NCTTA Championship, the Collegiate Championships. Finished second in men's singles nationally, representing USC.
Time.
Now a member
Game
of
two.
the Carolina
Chicago wins
Goldrush.
to serve. 0-0.
Goldrush lead 3-1 now overall. Here's game two for Pinto and Zhang.
Let.
Game one between these two, obviously as close as it could get. You expect the same in game two?
Yeah, exactly. I think Pinto's doing a nice job of moving the ball around. Kai's just placing it perfectly right on the white lines, especially from the backhand court out to the forehand. And here comes the big forehand attack by Kai Zhang.
0-2.
Anything that sits up for that forehand, I mean, good luck, good night.
Yeah, he's one of the strongest forehand players, definitely in North America. Been on Team USA, had some great wins internationally
0.
over some strong players in the world ranking top 20. And he's no foreigner to having a big win. Oh, Pinto with a little bit of power there on the step around. Nice job with the forehand. That forehand by Kai Zhang.
4.
Forehand court was open. He took it to where Pinto was standing and still put it by him.
4-1 lead for Zhang here in game two.
Again,
5-1.
Kai's backhand has just been on fire today. Just jumping on that last point. Pinto gets the opening loop and Kai stays with and just counterattacks it right off the bounce.
Sean, both these players were third round draft picks in the inaugural MLTT draft.
The backhand goes long, it clips the top of the net.
It's asking both coaches about their drafting strategy, and Alex Yang for Carolina basically said it was a blessing and a curse to have the #1 pick, because then you had to wait all the way to the other side of the snake draft to 16 and 17, and after he took Enzo Angles, so we'll see here coming up in both doubles and singles, he had to watch a lot of great players go off the board before he could select Kai Zhang and Hong Lin.
Exactly, and I think Coach Owens of Chicago also mentioned just trying to make sure their schedules were going to be making them available, since these are pro players that are playing all around the world in international events and some European leagues. But right now, Kai is trying to get some more points for the Carolina Goldrush.
And it's early and a lot can happen, but it is a great sign for Carolina that they're in position to maybe go up 4-1 overall, and we haven't even seen the #1 pick in the draft yet. We'll be in the next 2 matches.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Enzo come out and really show what being the #1 player in Major League Table Tennis. And here's a great return by Pinto, and there's a drop shot. Kai's fighting for it, but that's not his forte when he's off the table. He wants to be up there going for the big forehand attacks. But here you see a nice lob up in the air, little drop shot. Kai tries to get up to the table, but not quite fast enough.
Needed to utilize the Adam Bobrow snake shot there.
Exactly.
That was a point that I think a lot of novice table tennis players might identify with, kind of the scramble to stay alive, and you go short to unintentionally or intentionally to give yourself a chance.
What really makes it difficult when the player is that far back, if you can give them a quick drop shot, they're not going to be attacking that ball. But Kai definitely much stronger, closer to the net.
Speaking of Adam Bobrow, he's hard to miss. Just look for the guy wearing the brightest colors in the building.
This is our first timeout.
Hi.
The timeout was just called. Each team gets 3 timeouts for the match overall, but one of those has to be in the golden game. So only 2 timeouts available to be used in the 5 singles doubles matches. 4 singles, 1 doubles.
7.
Zhang wins that point. He was up 4-1 in this game. Pinto got within 1 at 6-5. And it's now 7-6.
6-7.
Pinto, really nice job on the third ball attack with the serve being the first. He waits for Zhang's forehand flip, and then he gets his forehand going. That's just insane. Kai Zhang's backhand. I mean, he's taking his backswing before the ball's even landing on his side of the table and just taking it for the winner. Pinto didn't even have a chance to take a backswing. Ball was so fast, so well delivered.
Net.
Disappeared.
8-6.
It's now 8-6 for Zhang on his serve.
Excellent serve,
9-6.
barely coming off the end of the table by Kai Zhang. He's leading 9-6.
Winding up that big forehand, but just mishit it ever so slightly, and that gives a glimmer of hope here to Daniele Pinto. Could have been down 10-6. Instead, he's got 2 serves here to potentially tie this thing up. But Zhang continues to fire away.
Just strong forehand play by Kai Zhang, just keeping the pressure on Pinto.
Game point. Missed it.
8-10.
Kai will go for everything. He had a nice short serve return, got an opening loop that wasn't too strong, but try to re-attack it, misread the spin. 2 more game points.
These 2 both on his serve. And the Carolina Goldrush
Game 2.
score another point here in singles as Zhang wins it 11-8 after surviving in game 1 11-10. And Carolina leads 4-1 overall with 1 more game left in this singles battle. And like every game 3 is going to be, it's going to be a turning point, Sean, with Pinto just trying to give Chicago a little bit of momentum here heading into the doubles match.
And it's just been all Kai Zhang's backhand attack. He's a forehand-oriented player, but he's been delivering backhand blows that I don't think Pinto ever expected. Look at that backhand just 1-2 across the table, finding the open forehand. So strong. You know, I would say, Evan, that Pinta is a better player, but Jung is playing better today. He's just landing his shots, putting a lot of pressure on, finishing up a school down in Southern California. It's not a full pro-time player like Pinto is, but his shots are landing.
Every day is a new day, and today is Zhang's day, at least so far. But we did see Sasha Kanin bounce back after dropping the first 2 games and change the feel by winning his third game 11-6. Here we go, game 3. Zhang to serve.
1-0.
That was quick.
Just seems like Pinta is pressing a little bit. Zhang is really feeling relaxed out there, taking full swings, and again, the difference has been his backhand so far.
0-2.
See the frustration on Pinta.
How aggressive would you be, Sean, as a coach of one of these players in terms of giving advice and tactically shifting things during the actual match?
Well, the thing is, Pinta's playing strong. He's playing into his opponent's weakness. It's just that Zhang is landing his weakness from a backhand position. So there's not really much you can tell Pinta to do. You don't want to play it into your opponent's strength, which is their forehand. But there's really no place to go. Just maybe play a little bit more. And there's another backhand. I mean, he got Kai Jung stepping around his forehand, his strength, to play a backhand attack because he sees it landing so well.
Pinto trying to gain a little energy.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Pinto slowing things down a little bit, just trying to be a little bit more structured. Don't go for a big shot, but just keep that placement short and tight.
2-4.
Go to the towels at 4-2 with Zhang in front. After this game completes, we'll see our first doubles match in MLTT history.
Back edge. Point to Pinto.
3-4.
It's a great feeling for a player.
Those rarely get returned. It just clips the very back and goes straight down.
Perfect shot or lucky shot?
These players play very deep all the time. They don't want to play it that deep. Chance of it going long is within millimeters.
Well, that's 3 in a row for Daniele. Trying to swing this around. Zhang wants a new ball. Oh, Daniele Pinto with a forehand winner to take a 5-4 lead.
And that's what happens when you have this righty-lefty combination. Players, when they step around one side, they really leave the table open. That time, Kai Jung went out to the forehand. No one home on the backhand side.
4-5.
Does Kai realize as he's hitting it that he's left himself that vulnerable?
Yeah, he's going for it all. He's hoping to put the ball through his opponent on that one shot.
Both players grunting, the intensity elevating.
And that's what I love about this format. Pinta's down 2-0, but he knows how critically important this game is for his team to keep it as close as possible.
And it's no exaggeration, Sean, to say that this game could decide the golden game, which is 6 points and could decide the match.
Going into the golden game, if you have a lead, you start with a spot, a lead. So every game counts in Major League Table Tennis.
5-7.
The Golden Game's really going to be something. Just the intensity of it all hanging in the balance. Daniele Pinto has scored 6 of the last 7. The players do switch sides midway through their third game. Pinto playing great defense, fantastic footwork.
And you can see it in his body language right after the point. He is not letting anything go through him. He's fighting to stay up at the table. Kai Jung finally nets the ball and is now not looking too good here in game 3 as the momentum is completely shifted. Net serve.
Net 5-8.
Off the net and missed the table. Point to Zhang. 8-6. Back to Pinto's serve.
Well-placed ball by Kai Jung, getting it wide out to Pinto's forehand and finding that backhand court. Kai would love to go 8-8.
Timeout.
Timeout taken. I think it was called by Chicago.
Definitely Chicago wants to make sure they get this point. They cannot afford to go and lose 3 in this match, go even further down. I just love the fact that with Chicago, not only Coach Eric Owens on the far right, but the entire team is there offering support and tactical advice. Help Pinto get into not dropping all 3 points.
Sean, in your playing career, how often did you have a resource like this in game and that there's a coach and teammates next to you to give advice and support?
Yeah, in singles, you're only allowed 1 coach. In the team event, you can have teammates coach, but it's not as common as we'll see here in Major League where everything comes down and it really matters.
Oh, that's a fortunate net cord winner. And Zhang back even, 8 apiece.
And Zhang loves to go for the big shot. He's got to serve now. Look for some third ball attacks.
Zhang delivers another ferocious forehand. And he's up 1 at 9-8.
He's just turning the corner on that backhand and taking the ball straight down the line. No hesitation, direct point.
What a turnaround we have witnessed here in this third game. It looked like Daniele Pinto was on the march for Chicago, but instead Kai Zhang has completely turned this around and now leads 10-8, 2 game points here for Carolina.
This is huge to take a 3-point victory out of this match.
Off the net and off the back of the table. 10-9. Pinto forced to try to win 3 in a row. Another game point for Zhang. And that'll do it.
11-9.
Kai Zhang makes more MLTT history. We'll be saying that a lot here in the inaugural weekend, but the first ever 3-0 demolition in a singles showdown. Kai Zhang over Daniele Pinto to give the Goldrush a 5-1 lead.
Goldrush looking very strong. Kai has to be so pleased with that performance after winning the first game in sudden death, coming back strong in game 2, and then having a great comeback here in game 3.
This could actually be a big factor in moving into the playoffs at the end of the season. The Lancing
We're now joined by Kai Zhang after the 3-0 win. Kai, congratulations. What did it feel like to be playing Major League Table Tennis?
Yeah, thank you so much for Flink hosting this, and I had like really good time. For a long time that I didn't play tournaments, so like this is like, you know, like after like stop for like a very long time, and it's like a good victory for me. So it's like, you know, like it boosts my confidence, everything. Yeah.
So Kai, my question is where did that backhand come from? I've never seen you so strong on the backhand side.
I think you definitely saw that before.
Really?
He says he's always had it, Sean.
Well, I've seen the forehand always on demand, but the backhand today was just amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Kai, what was the feeling in game 3? You'd already gotten the first 2. Daniele played well, had a lead. How'd you come back, turn that around, and take it 3-0?
Yeah, I think the third game I started pretty well, and then during like the middle of the game, I think I was a little like relaxed because I thought I was like a little like leading, and so my mind was not like fully focused like the first 2 games. And then, but I was really happy that I came back and won the third game.
What's it feel like to go back to your teammates and celebrate the win?
I mean, the match is still going on, so I'm still like cheering for my teammates.
Sure. Congratulations, Kai. Look forward to seeing you down the road.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kai Zhang delivers a 3-point victory for the Carolina Goldrush. And now it's doubles time, Sean. Very different dynamic, different flavor. What should we expect?
Well, it's even more different because we've got a mixed doubles team out there with the new format where you must play a female within the team. You can place her anywhere you want. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Emily Tan is able to come out, give her team a chance to get that women's match in, but playing against a very strong team from the Goldrush.
Time.
So
Doubles
Enzo
match.
Angles and Bastien Dupont,
Win,
the
Sasha
duo
to
for
serve.
Carolina. Sasha Hanin, who we
Goldrush,
saw in the
Enzo
first
to
singles
receive.
match, along with 17-year-old Emily Tan
No win
on the
is hidden
table for
with the captain.
Chicago.
So
Looks like
Sasha to serve.
Hanin
Enzo to receive.
will serve first.
Game 1, 0-0. Let's. Game 1, 0-0.
Enzo Angles, the #1 pick in the MLTT draft to receive. And the first point goes to Chicago.
With this mixed doubles team here, really look for Emily to try to make her forehand attacks as much as possible to allow her teammate to keep the attack going.
1-1.
Emily plays safe. It's going to put a lot of pressure on her teammate to deal with these strong attacks.
The dynamic of alternate shot and the footwork with these new teammates who have practiced a little bit together, but they're not teammates for several years.
Right, these players have not played on the tour together. Their first matchup here is in Major League Table Tennis, and they have had a chance to work out, but it's so strategic where you place each player in the draw.
Or even through 4 points.
3-2.
Dance first serve is a quick point for Chicago. The 17-year-old does not look out of place, Sean.
She's got a great forehand. No problem delivering that. Doubles, you want to stay close to the table. When you back up, it creates so much difficulty for your partner to cover. And that time, Chicago did a great job of keeping the pressure on.
Emily Tan just turned 17 earlier this month, here in September. Senior in high school out in California.
2-5.
And trying to make her mark in her MLTT debut and give her team a boost when they really need it.
They absolutely need it right now, and I was thinking if they could just get one game out of this, it would be considered a good accomplishment, but they're definitely running the tables now.
All against the French duo in the Carolina Goldrush shirts. 6-2 for Tan and Hanin of Chicago. Errant serve. We'll try again at 6-3.
And Emily going for a big forehand flip off of the short serve return. right shot. She's got to take some risks.
Angles to serve at 6-4. And Carolina has scored 3 in a row. Service miss from Hanin kind of changed the tide. That's a big point for Tan and Hanin to make it 7-5, maintain their lead. Bastion DuPont, you see bouncing across the way, a 23-year-old from Lille, France. I hope it's coming across on the video stream, but there's an intensity in the air right now.
The score is setting because right now Chicago has to get back into this match. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for them for the rest of the matches this weekend. They're going to have to win big.
7-all. DuPont to serve. Angles was left in a tough spot there, lunging for that one.
Yeah, Hanin did a great job of dropping it short out to the forehand side.
Let. Ball resting.
Once again, the umpire shares a reminder about the placement of the ball in the server's hand. One more for DuPont.
Beautiful play by Emily, able to step around, get her forehand, puts a lot of pressure on the Goldrush when the wind are doing the attacking. Nice spin up there.
It's now 10-7, 3 game points for the Chicago win in this first ever doubles game. And Emily Tan leads the way for the Chicago Wind as they take the first doubles game 11-7 behind the 17-year-old from California.
There's some girl power right there with Emily with a wonderful set of forehand attacks as well as winners over the table on the serve return. See the smile on Coach Eric Owens' face right now. He's thinking, wow, this is amazing, Emily. Just keep it going.
Asked her before the match today if she was feeling nervous, and she kind of grinned, and frankly, she felt pretty comfortable warming up and chatting before the match. That she's just starting to look and apply at for colleges. And
yeah, when she
what a
mentioned
story.
that all of her friends were seeing her on social media on some of the reels and understanding the significance of playing in the first major league table tennis event that we've ever had in the U.S. She's really done everything she needed to do, and see, Chicago Wind is getting ready to try to get back into this match with the Goldrush.
So there are 15 total points that'll be available heading into the Golden game. And if a team has an advantage, that advantage will shift over to the Golden game in addition to remaining in the standings. And a huge forehand from Hanin to start game 2.
And Emily set that up perfectly with a nice push wide out. Excellent job. Super teamwork. 1-2 combination. Excellent. And there's the power of Enzo. You can just see he got the ball in the center of the table and he just put it away.
Enzo, the big, tall French lefty, #1 pick in the draft. We'll see him in the third singles match coming up after this doubles showdown.
And Evan, it just seems like the Chicago Wind is a doubles team. They're melding much better together. They're setting each other up. They're working the points. Goldrush might have more firepower, but they're not working together as well. Doubles has always been a team effort. Can't just put two singles players that are excellent out. You've got to figure out a way of setting your partner up.
And DuPont kind of out of position to return that last ball.
Oh, a nice little defensive return there by Emily that caught the net. Enzo staying very calm, but he's thinking to himself, what is going on here? We thought we were going to get a 3-0 win in this combination doubles where it's men's doubles against mixed.
4-2 now. I mean, we're going to see a lot of new and different dynamics in Major League Table Tennis. Each team has to have at least one female on the active roster, but it's not like there's a female singles game to be played. The rosters can be sorted out at the coach's preference. Nice forehand from Angles there. And that will create some situations like we're going to see later tonight when Hong Lim faces Damian Provost.
Exactly. The lineup makes such a difference, and because the players don't know the other team's lineup, a little bit of jockeying for position, a little bit of gamesmanship. Do you put your female up into singles, or do you hold her back in the doubles?
The gamesmanship, you feel like, is only going to increase as the season goes along, as these teams see each other next month in Myrtle Beach and the month after that in Chicago.
And again, credit Emily. She's going against the strongest player in the league, and she's forcing mistakes by getting her offense going.
How's she forcing mistakes?
Just by attacking at every opportunity. She's not allowing Angles to go after just any ball. Here comes an attack here. Now they've turned it into a lob and smash point. Excellent play by the wind.
Sasha Kanin leaving no doubt. Going to the corner.
Here again, Emily with that quick forehand, and then it's all her teammate Kanin going with the forehand kill.
7-4.
One more serve here for Sasha. 7-4.
Again, look at Emily Payne just getting her forehand going.
She started playing when she was 6 years old. I mean, she's been playing for 11 years. Just missed the back edge of the table there.
Going for a deep push, trying to put pressure on Enzo.
And now the Goldrush creeping back into this second game, 8-6. Big serves for Emily Tan. And it's now a one-point game. Enzo Angles trying to will this Carolina team back into the conversation here in doubles. Oh, what a shot by Enzo Angles, an impossible angle.
Those angles were just extreme. Emily thought she made the best shot possible, but other side just kept putting wider and wider angles until finally it just clipped the front, almost going across the net.
Yeah, Bastion DuPont, incredible finish, 8-all.
Kanin with a wonderful deep push down the line. This would be a major upset here if they could take this second game.
Come on.
9-all now.
ball looked like it might have climbed the net, but it caught the top and came right back on Chicago's side.
Hanin has these two serves. Serving to Angles. Excuse me, DuPont received. And that just missed off the side of the table. So it's Carolina in front 10-9. Game point for DuPont and Angles here for the Goldrush. And that will do it. And we are tied 1 game apiece here in doubles. Tremendous comeback from Carolina to take it 11-9.
Carolina stayed patient. They stayed with their game plan, and DuPont with a wonderful forehand loop off the serve to help them win by 2, but excellent play by Carolina.
DuPont fired up, the Goldrush bench as well, pumped. As they take a 6-2 lead overall in points.
Both these teams doing a nice job moving the ball around, trying to get their strengths into play. A lot of short action off the serve. That was one extreme angle there by DuPont. Great final point there by DuPont, taking advantage of a serve that sat up a little bit directly for the win to tie this matchup at 1 game apiece.
Game 3, win to serve.
So we saw the dynamic with 2-0 heading into game 3. In this doubles match, each team is 1-1, and now the 3rd deciding game. And a good start for Chicago.
Great 3rd ball attack by Chicago. Emily Tan, very strong forehand.
A little bit too much on that Tan backhand.
Emily's much more consistent on the forehand side.
2-1 Carolina. The scoreboard anticipating the future brilliantly. 2-2.
Hanin, excellent backhand play. We've seen that in singles and now in doubles.
Oh, great get by DuPont off the net. And Angles trying for that backspin shot.
Yeah, just a desperation backhand side spin chop.
Tan wants that swing back, and we're even at 3. The teams will take a quick breather, just a quick towel.
Notice the teams and the players will signal to their partner either where they're serving or possibly returning serve to by putting their hand under the table.
DuPont to serve.
That's been the best shot for Chicago anytime Emily Tan is able to make that first forehand attack. Both Enzo and DuPont have had difficulty reading the amount of spin on the ball. Oh,
It's a tough break for Chicago. Enzo apologizes. Why do you think they're having a tough time reading Tan's spin?
they don't play against women that often, so they're not really sure when she plays her forehand, is it loaded like the guys are doing it, or is there a little bit less spin? And then when they go to counterattack it, their angle can be off a little bit.
4-4.
Emily should have made that one. She had that right on her racket.
Teams switch sides. 5-4. Carolina leading by 1.
5-4.
Beg your pardon. It was Chicago up 1. No, it's now 5-all. Oh yeah, the scoreboard was confused with the players switching sides, but it is now 5-all. Overheated that forehand.
But Chicago would love to have that combination continue with Emily getting the first loop and Kaneen going for the finishing blow. He's giving signals to each other.
6-6.
Enzo going long with that forehand flip over the table. He's opened it up a little bit too much, going for too much power.
Game apiece, 6-6.
It's a nice loop there by DuPont.
6-7.
He's played some big shots so far in games 2 and 3.
Chicago win coach Eric Owens did say before the match that he feels like his team has a lot of different doubles combinations that he'll try out and see what fits best.
Evan, I would say that in this combination, by putting the female player in the doubles and Emily playing so well, I would think that Eric would want to continue to use her as much as possible. The game has really paid dividends here for the Chicago Wind.
And had it lined up, but it just hit the top of the tape, and it's 8-8.
We've just been treated to so many close games here. Again, knowing there will be no deuce. It's 10-10, 1 point for the W. And there's that backhand. It's been really not what Emily wants to do. She wants to step around and use her forehand if possible.
8 serving 9. And now 2 game points coming up here for Carolina. It's 10-8. Angles and DuPont, after dropping the first game 11-7, in a great position to take 2 of the 3 doubles points. Game point. Bastian DuPont delivers with the serve and an 11-8 win in the 3rd game. And Carolina now has a 7-2 lead overall. The Goldrush having a night here to begin their Major League Table Tennis tenure.
Goldrush looking very strong. Little surprised to drop that first game, but they got the job done coming through in games 2 and 3 to get the +1 off the doubles.
Enzo Angles is going to get ready to play singles, and we're going to chat with Bastian DuPont. Bastian, congratulations, taking 2 out of 3.
Thank you.
That was an adventure. Emily and Sasha gave you guys a battle and a lot to think about. What was that like from your perspective?
Yeah, it was a really difficult match. They give their best. we didn't play so well, but we fight each point and finally we win. Very good for the team.
What were the adjustments after game 1 to turn it around and take games 2 and 3?
To be more aggressive, yeah, take attack first was the key of the match.
And how did you have the confidence at the end of game 2 on game point to make that very strong forehand? Had you talked to Enzo about going for it when the opportunity was there?
No. On all the sets, he served short. On the set point, I saw the service a little bit longer, and then I go.
Excellent play. That was a well done shot at a key moment.
Yeah, thank you.
What does this feel like, being a part of the first ever Major League Table Tennis event?
Yeah, it's really good for me. It's the first time in US. It's really exciting to play this Major League.
Awesome. Welcome. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bastien Dupont playing doubles for the Carolina Goldrush. His first time ever in the United States. And he gets his team 2 points, working alongside Enzo Angles. And now Dan Liu has his hands full. Liu, 32 years old, now lives in the San Jose area, originally from China, going against the 28-year-old Enzo Angles from France, top 100 in the world at his peak. And he was the #1 pick in the inaugural MLTT draft, so there are expectations with Enzo.
When I think he came out with additional pressure in that doubles match that we just saw, and credit the Chicago win to steal that first game, but then Enzo definitely calmed the action down, got his partner and him going, and now he'd like to keep that momentum going here against Dan Liu.
What are the characteristics that Enzo Angles brings to the table that made him worthy of being the #1 pick in the draft?
It's just really the professionalism, the fact that he's in Europe playing against the best players in the world on a regular basis. His style is beautiful to watch. Left-hander, controls the short game well, has power and speed on both sides. Dan Liu might be backing off the table a little bit because he's going to have to deal with this very strong power from Enzo.
All right, after the doubles match, we're back to singles. 2 more singles matches, and then the golden game. Angles to serve. Enzo leaving no doubt that he would get the toss more than 6 inches above his hand.
And the
threw that 6 feet up in the air.
the umpires have always been very sticklers in the U.S. to make sure you have the ball in the palm of your hand and that you throw it up 6 inches.
Swing and a miss. Ooh, fooled him there. And we're tied at 1. There's no maximum.
No
limit.
maximum. I think we've got about 90 to 100 feet in this gymnasium or this sports hall here, so.
It's tough to have a shot hit the ceiling in this place at the Ocean Center. 2-1 lead for Liu.
Dan Liu plays a little bit more of a controlled game. He doesn't finish the point as hard as some of the other players. He likes to move it around, keep the ball in play, keep his opponent off balance. I mean, that's just a lot of power there by Enzo Angles. Just you can hear it when he's cranking through the ball. Very small stroke, but explosive.
Three through the first 6. Dan Liu was a 2nd round draft pick for Eric Owens in the Chicago Wind. Took Damian Provost first, and we'll see Damian in the final singles match coming up.
4-3.
It's part of the strategy just not to match up, the top draft picks against each other, mixing and matching. And
4-4.
coaches have looked at head-to-head record in the past and judged styles and watched combines and studied the tape.
Yeah, it's not an easy job being a coach in Major League Table Tennis. There's so many variables. As we see throughout the weekend, that's a beautiful serve there.
What a point. Angles outlasting Liu.
And Angles is smiling afterwards. Just great firepower from the backcourt from both players.
5-4.
Liu doing everything he can to keep the ball into play, but Angles moving it around, finally finding the open court.
Easily the longest rally we've seen yet today.
4-6.
6-4 now to Enzo. He scored 5 of the last 6.
He's doing a really good job putting his attacks together. After he makes that first heavy spin, he stays close to the table to keep the pressure on.
Liu fired up. Important point there, trying to stabilize. Dan Liu describes his style as a passionate player.
You can see the power of Angles right there. Took a couple
7-5.
blocks and then just turned it around, brought in his forehand. Liu is also an excellent coach. He loves the game, really sharing his knowledge really deep. He used to play as a penhold player and recently changed to a shake hands grip, which is somewhat unheard of.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, do you?
No, generally later in somebody's career, especially if they do go into coaching, but he is so strong, excellent in doubles as well.
Let 7-5.
Why would someone
7-6.
change their grip late in their career?
If you're a coach and you're playing penholder, you have to work a lot more. So by going to shake hands, you give a player who you're coaching a ball that they'll see in shake hands play, because penholder is probably only about 5 or 10% of the entire population. It used to be more popular, but Dan Liu has such good touch and such good feeling for him to change the grip. We really didn't see his level go down all that much, but it is a different amount of footwork that he has to do. It's less now. The penholder grip, you have to do a lot more footwork to get your forehand into play.
Important couple of serves here for Liu. And Angles
6-9.
grabbing control of this game. Up 9-6.
Beautiful forehand there over the table by Angles. When we spoke to Coach Yang, he said that Angles would be playing 2 points or 2 matches in every team event because of his strength. Saw him in the doubles. Now he's taking care of business here in the singles.
11-6.
An 11-6 win for Enzo Angles, backing up the reputation of being the #1 pick in the draft, and a strong start for Angles in singles. He was down 3-1 in this game, but closed 10-3.
And again, credit his experience, not nervous, just took his time, got back into the game, just got the job done.
Carolina is in a great position. There's still 5 more games to be played before we get to the Golden Game. With an 8-2 lead right now, Carolina could very well have a 4, 5, 6-0. Well, I guess 5 is the biggest lead you can have going into the Golden Game in MLTT rules.
And in this team event, where normally you would think we beat the opponent, these points continue and accumulate. So if you can finish off after the Golden Game and get even more points, that's going to make life easier getting into the playoffs.
Carolina is guaranteed to have at least a 1-point lead heading into the Golden Game now, and everything they earn will help them both in the standings and to add that big whopper of a 6th spot when we get to the Golden Game.
Momentum will be huge for the rest of their matches this weekend.
Game 2, Liu to serve. Big hitting.
1-0.
Some crazy spin and movement on those balls.
Heavy side spin by both players, just going, I mean, it's toe to toe, but they're 8 to 12 feet back with the big power forehands. Angles often going down to knee level in order to keep the attacks going.
Angles with a tough angle on that return, even up game 2 at 1 point apiece. Angles. Astonishing stuff from Dan Liu to will himself back into the point.
Angles thought he had won that point 2 or 3 times, and somehow Dan Liu pulled out a backhand at the last moment to find the wide open court to give the win the point.
That's great, great level. Two all now.
And I think, Evan, that's the example of why when Dan Liu was describing his game as a passion player, no matter what's happening in the point, he's fighting for his life to keep that ball in play. There's too much firepower right there by Enzo. Moving the ball around until he can get his forehand into play and just speeding it up.
What's the key to handling that firepower as an opponent?
You know, there's really not much you can do. That's the difference in level, but you want to attack first. That's the one way of, look at that, just a great step around there by Enzo. The only way you stop that forehand, that blistering forehand from going by you, is to be the first one to attack. We saw it in the doubles with Emily. She kept getting that first attack in, which really forces the opponent to counterattack or to block the ball. But Enzo Angles, great footwork, great attacks on both the forehand and backhand side with heavy spin.
5-2.
5-2 lead now for Angles. Good response from Dan Liu. Major League Table Tennis, the idea officially launched in March. The draft in August. Here we are, September, the inaugural weekend, the Carolina Goldrush and the Chicago Wind.
Oh, look at that footwork, how fast. Did Enzo Angles get up to the table for that short high ball.
Angles now a 7-3 lead here in the second game. He's won 17 of the last 23 points. Going back to game 1.
Let 7-3.
Dan Liu has to mix it up. He has to do something to change the rhythm. So far, Enzo Angles has really had his way with this match.
Quick towel break. Here's the abbreviated timeline. Draft announced August 27th. The commentary team announced. That was a red letter date in the history of MLTT. And of course, here we are, September 15th, 2023.
Net.
The first ever Major League Table Tennis event, the East Division Showcase here in Daytona Beach, Florida.
5-8.
We'll be out in Santa Cruz, California, near the Bay Area next week. See the Bay Area Blasters make their debut. Seattle Spinners, the Texas Smash, and your hometown Portland Paddlers.
Yeah, Portland's looking really excited.
8-6.
Dan Liu fighting to get back into this second game, try to get on the board.
Net. 8-6.
Enzo Angles in complete control.
Staying up at the table, forcing Dan Liu way back. Doesn't have to worry about really any type of counterattack from that position. But just great power. You can see the hooking on that ball. Dan Liu with a wonderful forehand rip. Angles just blocks it back, steps around himself.
And it doesn't feel like Liu has given this game to Enzo by any means. Enzo's just ripped it away.
Yeah, it's just a level above. Just see the
it's another 11-6 win. The #1 pick in the draft, taking care of business in singles after he and Bastien DuPont took 2 out of 3 in doubles. And look, Dan Liu has his hands full, as does Eric Owens, trying to talk to his player. I asked Alex Yang, the coach of the Goldrush, before the match, why play Angles in the 3rd singles match? And he basically said, I want to guarantee 3 points.
Yeah,
looks like a smart move right now.
It really does. And I think possibly they were even thinking with Angles 6 points if they could have taken 3 in the doubles and then 3 in the singles. But right now, Dan Liu really doesn't have any pressure. He's fighting to keep the ball in play. But Angles just has so much firepower. His backhand attack, his forehand attack, his footwork. He's got everything. You can see the look on the Chicago win. There's a little bit of, we need to get something going. Can't be continuing in the rhythm that has taken us so far, that we're trailing 9-2.
Time. Game 3. Goldrush to serve. 0-0.
Angles will serve first here in game 3. Dan Liu trying to salvage a point. This is really shaping up to be a big night for the Carolina Goldrush.
What a well-placed backhand angle block. Angles running up to the table after some good attacks that Dan Liu counterattacked with and just found the open court for the winner.
Quick 2-0 lead here in the 3rd game. Was looking at his paddle like it betrayed him.
Yeah, it's like, why didn't you leap that ball over the net? I was in position. Dan Liu will not go quietly into the night from this match. He will continue. Oh, he went for a very aggressive deep serve.
Do you like the decision, or?
Yeah, because you have to try something risky, but gosh, when it doesn't work out, now you're in the hole 3-1. And Angles now with the serve, if he's able to take at least 1 or even 2 on his serve, then you've really blown up the game. Look at that, that's so beautiful, just nice control over the table until the ball comes out to the forehand and a lot of pressure.
Net.
It was a draft lottery that gave the Goldrush the right to the top pick. We often say in other sports, draft lotteries, the ping pong balls went their way.
Absolutely. Coach Yang was so pleased, and he told us during our pre-match meeting that expect to see Enzo in 2 matches in every single team challenge.
1 serving 5.
1-6.
This is the 12th game of table tennis we've seen through 4 matches.
6,
The most
2.
lopsided score we've seen so far was 11-5. Game 2 of the first singles match where Lawrence defeated Hanin. Angles though taking 6 of the first 7 points and now 7 of the first 9 as he looks to finish off the sweep of Dan Liu.
Dan Liu running over to the forehand side with a backhand, but he leaves the backhand open, and Angles having no difficulty landing the finishing blow on that point.
Two, 9.
Dan Liu is going to have some really good success in this league, but not perhaps against Enzo.
Yeah, I'm not sure which players will because of his level of play, but he's going to carry a very heavy burden on his shoulders if he does end up playing 2 matches each time.
11-2. Game and match to Goldrush.
11-2 for Enzo Angles as he completes the sweep over Dan Liu and the Carolina Goldrush. Now with an 11 or a 10-2 lead overall. It has been an epic start to this opening night for the Carolina Goldrush. Enzo Angles playing doubles and singles, earns 5 points for his team. Enzo, congratulations on the sweep. What did it feel like first getting back into the doubles match the way you and Bastian did, and then how would you characterize how that singles match went for you?
Very good because yeah, I started on the table with the double. We did a quite bad start actually, and we could come back even playing bad. So that was already a good thing to do, to bring the victory for the team. And then after my game, I was just good, simple game. I mean, simple like what I did, the way I played, and of course I played good. I'm moving good, I feel good, and let's see how it's gonna be.
Some great rallies between you and Dan. What gave you the edge, did you think?
My physical is the key of my game. So if I don't have the physical, then it's of course I move less. I'm less. I give less impact. So and the quality of my ball is it's much lower. So that's why it's very important.
And how excited are you to be part of Major League Table Tennis in the United States?
Well, it's great. It's really great because I played in France. I have played in France actually all my life, and so it's the first time like I play away in another league, another country. So it's very exciting to be part of a totally brand new project, and with of course very great people around and that want all the best for the sport.
Enzo, back on Ocho Day in August, it was your spin move that was the talk of the day. do we expect similar flair here in Major League Table Tennis?
It can be, but you can have also some show points like we did. I think the spectators like it, and yeah, let's see if I can make another spin. I will do it.
Congrats on a great start, Enzo. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Enzo Angles. Certainly a fantastic start for Enzo.
Oh, Carolina Goldrush is definitely on fire and getting the job done. This next match is again going to be a mixed match where we have a top female from one team going against Provost of the Chicago Wind.
3 games to play.
And Provost was
Win to
the
serve.
first round pick for the Wind.
0-0.
Hong Lin was the second round pick right behind Angles. 16th overall.
1-0.
So we've got some contrasting elements here with Provost as a lefty. He's going to play a lot of balls from his backhand court, but he's playing against a pen holder, which is a other type of grip.
0-2.
What Dan Liu used to play, and what we'll see with Hong doing slightly differently is she'll play her backhand on the opposite side of the pen holder grip. We call it the reverse pen hold backhand. Very quick.
0-3.
Allows her not to have to step around so much. Old days with traditional pen holders, they played mostly forehand and just would block on the backhand. She'll flip it over and use her backhand to attack.
Provost off to a fantastic start.
0.
Even if he gets all 3 points here for Chicago, it's still a 5-point deficit at the start of the Golden Game. However, these are 3 huge points that Chicago really needs.
That is so true. And Provost knows that. He knows that it's not just try to win 3-0. He needs to be thinking about the big picture of not only going into the gold match, gold game, but also not to get any further behind.
2-4.
Carolina has won all 4 matches so far in this team match. 2 of them 3-0, the others 2-1.
3-4.
Hong Lin, after falling behind quickly, has battled back.
Yes, very fast player. Likes to keep the serve short and then quickly attack on that next ball.
What are the characteristics that says to a player that they want to decide to try the pen hold grip? Is it just what feels natural, or is there something about their abilities or their movement or their style?
Usually it's the coach will have a huge influence at a young age. It's not something that you change back and forth as you're going towards your peak. But traditionally in China, they've always had a lot of pen hold players, not so common in Europe. A couple countries, former Yugoslavia, Serbia, Croatia, had a lot of pen holder players. But this day it's pretty much limited to China. And they always like to have pen holders just to give their team members a different style to play against. Provost plays traditional shake hands, what we see among all the top European countries and the Americans.
Provost with a 7-3 lead. Hong Lin to serve. What has Damian Provost done well so far in this match?
Just really stayed close to the table, with Hong wanting to smash and play that ball quick off the bounce. He hasn't backed up to give her extra time to play her game. He's just holding the table, keeping constant pressure on her and moving it around. He's got to protect his wide forehand, because that, as a lefty, that's always an area where players will play to. That's a nice combination by Lin of the Goldrush.
Ten, 4-10.
6 game points for Damian. And a convincing first game victory for Damian Provost of the Chicago Wind. He takes it 11-4 over Hong Lin.
Just really in workman fashion, moving the ball around, not giving Hong Lin anything to work with, while at the same time keeping the pressure, spinning the ball when he gets a chance, taking the offense off her paddle.
What do you think Alex Yang is saying to Hong Lin right now?
I think he's telling her just to be aggressive. Don't try to play safe. Go all out. She's got nothing to lose. They've got the lead going into the golden game, but maybe try to sneak a game out of this. Maybe go for some higher risk shots. Get her forehand going. But Damien is playing very strong, just really taking control.
Time.
Provost, 38 years old.
Time.
Turn 39 next
Game
month.
2.
Veteran.
Goldrush to serve. 0-0.
Certainly a lot of good French players in this league.
It's amazing how many have decided that they want to see Major League Table Tennis succeed.
0-1.
France has had a rich tradition among the top players in Europe. 1993 world champion Jean-Philippe Gassien, great role model.
1-1.
John, as someone who's been around table tennis for such a long time, what do you think about how the sport has evolved on the international stage, and where does Major League Table Tennis fit in as we go into the future?
Well, for U.S., it's absolutely critical to have an opportunity for an Emily Tan or any of the younger players that we see to play in a pro league stateside instead of having to move to Europe, leave your family, possibly give up some school. It's just a game changer. It will allow the U.S. to compete, allow kids to stay with the sport instead of having to give it up to go to college to have a non-table tennis career. So it's really going to give USA a boost internationally in our results, both on the men's and women's side. Both U.S. champions are in the league with Nikhil Kumar and Lily Zhang. So, and Amy Wong also, I'm sorry, Lily won the previous year, but we've got a number of national champions, so they've all signed up and they can't wait to play.
4-2.
Provost serving up by 2.
And just really heavy spin by Provost, nullifying the quick hits from Hong Lin.
2-6.
I don't think I've asked you this yet in any of our conversations on or off the air. When the draft finished, was there one roster that you looked at and thought was heads and shoulders above the rest?
Well, being from Portland, I was definitely looking at how their team lined up, and with a U.S. Open champion, Koulé was the second player on their team, but that was because of the snake system, where coach Christian Lillaroos chose local Portlandia player Jiwei Shah. So I'm kind of biased and wanting to see a hometown team do well, but looking at the first blog and draft, they actually had him picked as 4th in the division, so I know that they want to change that opinion and perception that they can battle with the best of them. But these teams are so balanced. They have so many good players from so many different countries. It's really tough to gauge. And then the format of playing that female player anywhere in the slot Definitely is adding an extra element to it here. Again, Hong Lin, nice forehand kill, a combination there. She needs to do a lot more of that to get back into this match.
Chance to take the lead here for Lin. 6-all. Provost, though, the one with the fist pump after the point.
He knows there's not much he can do when she serves that fast deep one other than to keep it back and low, because she's going to smack the next one. So he's doing his job of keeping pressure on her, not giving her extra time to get her attacks going. There's a nice backhand attack right there on the reverse side of the penhold racket. Really picked it up, came over the ball. It was a little bit like a windshield wiper zipping through it.
Big hitting there, both players.
To see Provost doing such a nice job of staying close to the table when the attacks get going.
You can see Lin trying to be a little bit more aggressive, but just lost control.
Nine,
9-7.
Yeah, when that ball gets spun so heavy by Provost, it's very tough for Lin to get on top of it. She can hit the back of it, but it's not going to bring the ball down.
What's the key to generating that heavy spin when you're swinging?
It's to get your feet into position to make sure that racket, whether it's looping against underspin where you're spinning up on the ball or against topspin where you're spinning forward, but it's a lot of racket speed. Staying nice and relaxed will give you the fastest.
11-7 for Provost as he takes the first two games of this fourth singles match against Hong Lin. This one was closer, but still a pretty convincing win, and one game away from the golden game. Let's review what will be at stake coming up here shortly, Sean. It's a game where all 5 active players compete. The grand finale to every match, a single game to 21. What's it going to feel like?
Well, I think for all these players, they've played it in the combine, which allows the coaches to actually do the draft. But it's such a new concept. The players aren't really aware of how it's going to play out because you're playing 4 points against another player, and you never know what can happen.
So there's a maximum 5-point lead, and because it was 10-2, we know that Carolina will begin the golden game with a 5-0 lead, regardless of what happens here in this final singles matchup between Lin and Provost. So at 5-0, the first 2 players who take the court for the golden game will each play 3 points to get to the multiple of 4, and then they'll sub, and it'll be 4-point increments. And it's going to be interesting to see what matchups the coaches call, because they can select any of their 1 players, but they have to go in sequence. Everyone has to play.
Right, and you don't want to put a match out there where a player's going to win 4-0, 4-0 because you're thinking they're not going to be competitive. So you've got to put somebody out there in each of these matchups that can win at least 2 points to make it even. Hopefully they take 3. And that's a nice start by Hong Lin.
0-1.
One here. Is it me, or are there a lot of lefties on these 2 teams?
You just see that in France a lot. I don't know what the deal is and what's in their water, but they definitely have a lot of lefties, and they're just good players. That's the bottom line. They've got good training, they've got good coaching, they've got a strong, rich tradition in the sport, so they've got role models as kids to look up to, and they've got a pro league. Now we've got one in the United States, so.
As of today.
First time ever, so Thank goodness that the top French players are coming over, because that will help the U.S. in their improvement and hopefully in the fan support to get more people involved as spectators and lovers of the game.
3-2.
Prevost looking around, wondering what happened there.
A little bit of a odd bounce. Nice inside out serve going through the middle. A lot of times in table tennis, when you have a high ball, you like to play to that transition point where a person goes from the forehand to the backhand to catch them if they're not moving their feet.
Provost kind of rolled his eyes after that ball hit the net.
Yeah, it was on his paddle. He had the shot that he wanted, just overplayed it a little bit, but credit Hong Lin for her fast play. Once Damien gets that first heavy topspin in, it really makes it tough for Hong Lin to stay at that pace.
How tough is it, do you think, Sean, for the players that played, first, second, third singles or doubles to kind of stay in it mentally after their match is over as we get toward the golden game here to culminate this first ever match?
Well, our spectators can't see it, but we do have some practice tables, so the players know once they finish, they're over getting ready. They want to be as sharp and as warm as they can when they go into the golden game, because you don't want to come out flat. The game can be over before you know it. I think both these players are just focusing right now on holding the table, trying to get their attacks going. And that was a beautiful serve there by Damien Provost, just really spinning it, not giving Hong Lin anything to work with.
Seven 7-4 lead now for Provost as he closes in on the first ever Chicago sweep. Hong Lin not done just yet. 7-5 as they go back to the towels. Still have the Florida Crocs and the Princeton Revolution coming up in the second team matchup tonight.
Net 7-5.
And Provost has done an excellent job. He's just trying to get that first topspin in to slow the points down. And he can play on his own rhythm versus dealing with the fast attacks of Hong Lin.
6-8.
Hong Lin hanging around. She's got two serves here on her paddle. Trailing 8-6. Trying to salvage a point here and avoid the sweep.
Oh, nice backhand right off the bounce.
Timeout taken by Chicago. It's a 1-point game.
If Hong Lin wins one game, this game here, her last chance, she has secured it for Carolina Goldrush, which means those last 6 points would create either a landslide victory.
It's a point that our PA announcer Adam Bobrow has made, but to clinch the team win, you need 11 points overall. Carolina's going to have a 5-0 edge going into the golden game, but if Provost can win this singles game and then Chicago can overcome that deficit, they would win the overall match.
And what a momentum shifter that would be after we've seen the Goldrush just really put the pedal to the metal and just put so much pressure on Chicago.
Time. 7-8.
Out of the timeout, Lin with one more serve, trailing by 1. Oh, Provost with the defense.
That was amazing. Lin had the ball that she wanted. She smashed it cross court. Somehow, Provost able to keep that ball in play and then turn the offense around.
Nine, 8.
Back to a one-goal game, a one-point game. And it is tied 9-9. Hong Lin continuing to battle despite the mismatch in size and wingspan, strength.
And she'll have 2 serves to try to end this match on her terms.
And just off the back edge, Provost is the one that earns the game point here at 10-9.
The entire Chicago Wind team is up on their feet. They know the significance if they want to somehow get in a position to steal based on the Golden game.
And that will do it. Provost does complete the sweep. 11-9 in game 3 over Hong Lin. So it is now 10-5. Carolina will begin the Golden game in front by 5 points, both in the team total and in the Golden game single game total. But Chicago is in position to potentially steal the entire night with a crazy performance in this final moment.
It's worth 6 points, the Golden game. So Damian Provost was able to keep his team alive. Let's see how the orders and the formats line themselves up. This is going to be exciting.
Damian Provost joins us now. Damian, thanks for joining us. Hong certainly didn't make that easy for you down the stretch. What was the key to closing out the sweep?
I tried to relax because I was very tense. I knew that if I was losing this set, we had no chance to win. And yeah, I was very nervous. And when you're a little bit more nervous and play with less quality, she can be very aggressive. And with her style, it's tough. So yeah, it was not easy. I'm happy I survived.
So Damian, what are your thoughts going into this Golden game? It's a different format. Where is your mind right now that you have to change gears?
Yeah, it can go very fast. We spoke a little with the team. I think like you can be up with 3 points and in 30 seconds, then you can it can be 3-3 or 5-5, and so I felt even if 10-2 looks down, I feel like okay, if I can win 3-0, even so 5-0 for them, it's a big advantage. But okay, it's still we still have a big chance. I really wanted to give us the chance to play for the win, and yeah, it can go both ways. Maybe we will be crushed, but yeah, we will fight, and let's see what happens. We'll know in 15 minutes.
All right, Damian, thanks for joining us. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats on the 3-0 sweep over Hong Lin. Damian Provost with 11-4, 11-7, and 11-9 got closer in each incremental game, but Damien did enough to get the job done for the Chicago win. It's 10-5 as we head to the first ever Major League Table Tennis Golden Game.
You can see here the Chicago win, different looks on their face after they were trailing down 10-2, but Damien Provost, excellent job of taking all 3 points.
So the coaches just were with the umpire talking about the official order, which is not decided until now. You know, this is unlike the order of the players, the lineup for the overall match. The Golden Game lineup is basically spontaneous decisions made by the coaches based upon the situation and the score. And we're going to begin with Bastien Dupont and Damien Provost. Provost right back on the table.
Yeah, they want to try to, Chicago wants to keep that momentum going. He's won 3 in a row in singles.
Golden
now
Game.
Play a short
0-5.
match of
Win
just a couple
serve.
points.
And 3 points for these two at 5-0 on the scoreboard. Here we go. And Provost
5-1.
with an early statement for Chicago.
He would like to eliminate that lead and get back as quickly as possible.
Team trailing. Serve first, and DuPont with an answer to go up 6-1. Big forehand response from Damien Provost.
And what a different way of thinking. It's quick 3 points and then hand it off to your teammate. See the players on the team giving high fives for getting 2 points on the board.
So here's Sasha Kanin and Enzo Angles.
Net.
Let on that first serve. Kanin gets it back. 4 points between these two. And if Chicago can seize a little momentum here against Angles, just imagine the emotions here in Florida. Angles answers 7-3, 2 more points between these two.
And that's the experience of Angles. Able to win points off of defense, moving the ball around. Look for him to get his first forehand in.
Oh, beautiful placement from Enzo Angles. He's guaranteed himself at least a split, but he could really make a statement by taking 3 out of 4, and that's exactly what he does. 3 straight for Angles to go up 9-3. Carolina gets a 21 first. They will have basically a rout, Sean. 16-5 is lopsided. Meanwhile, Chicago trying to get that 6th spot and steal the overall match.
Exactly. Lorenz now trying to continue such a great performance. Oh, look at that forehand from the wide cross-court return against Dan Liu.
Looks like Lorenz has stayed warm.
Yeah, he's been playing well all night tonight.
Liu answers.
4.
Oh, great placement there by Lorenz, right into the body of Liu. Off of the pop-up, just took his time.
And really all Carolina needs to do is get 2-2 splits in these 4-point sequences, and they will be
just
sitting pretty.
Move the ball down the field.
4-12.
3 out of 4 for Lorenz after Angles did the same, and Carolina tightens its grip.
Yeah, Pinto needs to have a big break, maybe take all 4.
4-12. Win to serve.
Well, of the Golden Game matchups, this is the only one that's a rematch of what we saw earlier with Pinto and Zhang. And Zhang had the 3-0 sweep, but Pinto gets the first point here in the Golden Game.
Zhang going for that strong backhand play that landed into singles.
Five, 13-5.
Emily Tan and Hong Lin will be on the table next.
And Kai Zhang with a great forehand play.
13-6.
So much easier when you have a big lead to take full swings and not be afraid if they do miss.
Six, 14. Switch.
So Zhang gets the job done. 14-6. Chicago needs someone like Tan to go on a 4-0 run. And Hong Lin with other ideas.
6-15.
Hong, very experienced, gave up the first attack but just blocked it to the open court.
Power.
7.
Emily says, I'm going to take this one right down the middle.
Good to be young.
Seven.
One more point between Tan and Lin.
Seven, 17.
10-point lead now for Carolina. It's looking like Alex Yang's game plan is going to actually work out to perfection. Goldrush, 4 points away.
Literally a gold rush. I mean, just going point after point.
8-17.
Provost trying to stop Carolina.
17-9.
2 in a row for Damian Provost. He's certainly Chicago's MVP today.
Absolutely. The challenge is with Angles going to get 4 points, and they already have 17.
17-9.
He could finish it out on his racket.
Enzo's doubles partner has other ideas to try to get there a little bit quicker.
Exactly.
Nine, 19.
19-9 as we go back to Hanin and Angles. The Carolina Goldrush closing in.
9-19.
A grin from Enzo as he's introduced as the #1 draft pick. He's going to live with that distinction for better or worse. Certainly hasn't seemed to intimidate him in his performance tonight. Match point, Goldrush. Carolina Goldrush, victorious in the first ever Major League Table Tennis Showcase. They win it 16-5 overall, dominating the Golden Game 21-9. And Carolina over Chicago to begin our first ever MLTT event here at Daytona Beach.
Chicago just brought their A game, a lot of 3-0 victories, excellent play led by Enzo Angles.
So Sean, give me your quick takeaways as we get ready for Florida and Princeton. Your quick takeaways on the Goldrush, the wind, the format, and the experience.
Everything's just amazing right now with Enzo Angles just showing the pure why he was picked #1, just a level above. But in this doubles, he lost the first game, so anything can happen, and I'm sure anything will moving forward.
We're now joined by Alex Yang, the head coach of this Carolina Goldrush team. Alex, congratulations. What did this night feel like for you, and what were you most pleased about with how your team competed?
Thank you very much. I'm so happy. I don't think so. I'm not respected they will win so easily, but I lost the coin toss. I think they will be very hard match. After Kai Zhang 1-3-0, I think we're going to win this time.
So with Kai Zhang's great win, how surprising was that? I mean, he came out forehand and backhands just landing all over the place.
Yeah, but he told me he's a little bit out of practice and injury. I saw he's really come back for his level, so he made some incredible shot, so I'm so happy now.
What was the dynamic like with the team and everyone supporting each other and reveling in everyone else's success?
Yeah, we like a team, like a family. So before match we had a meeting, so we did a lot of strategy, so everybody support each other. So I'm so happy this is a teamwork.
Probably after a 16-5 win, no major adjustments heading into tomorrow, or is there anything that you'd like to change?
Yeah, I will have a meeting later, but I ask all the players to sit down and watch other two teams, so we can make some strategy things. Also, I'll ask them to forget about these results, to start with 0-0 tomorrow. I hope we can win tomorrow too.
Well, congratulations, a historic victory, the first ever Major League Table Tennis match. You guys take care of business. Enjoy the rest of the night. And Alex, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Alex Yang. What a night for the Carolina Goldrush, as they take it 16-5 over the Chicago Wind. Kai Zhang with an incredible 3-0 sweep. Angles and DuPont lost the first game in doubles, but goodness, they responded against Hanin and Tan to take 2 out of 3. Chicago had their moment, Sean, but it was Carolina's night.
Yeah, Chicago did everything they could. They fought hard. Great rallies here. Dan Liu gave it everything he could, but Enzo Angles just too strong this evening.
Princeton and Florida will begin in about 8 to 10 minutes. We'll take a quick timeout and then come back and bring you the Revolution and the Crocs. Carolina takes it over Chicago. For Sean O'Neill, I'm Evan Lepler. We will talk to you very, very soon.